Well, hello, traders and investors. I'm L.A. Little, and this is your daily NeoTA wrap. And this is where we take a look at these markets and ask ourselves what happened today and what might it tell us about the coming days. I do this show 4 times a week, every Monday through Thursday. It's broadcast at or before 10 o'clock Eastern Time, archived on YouTube, and it's under the channel L.A. Little. If you want to subscribe, you haven't, reach up in the right-hand corner, do so anytime I push content. You get a notification. As far as what happened today, nothing really. Markets just kind of grind a little bit higher, but you had larger gains. They gave it up. Really nothing going on here, folks. Everybody's waiting on the Fed. They want to see what the Fed's going to do. They want to see the Bank of Japan does. And really, the Bank of Japan is probably the wild card that's out there. So if you look at these markets and you're asking yourself, what out here is going to give me some sort of a heads up as to what's going on, UUP, the dollar, yeah, it's just kind of grinding up there, hanging up there. FXE, FXY, they're doing the same thing. If you look at the indexes, they're not doing anything either. They're all sitting there, they're waiting on the news. When you have news like this coming, there's no reason to take any big positions in front of it. So what do? You do nothing. And that's what this looks like, nothing. Volume wasn't that light. We just don't have the volume numbers in yet, but it was light today. Inside bars, been going sideways now 8 days waiting on the central bankers. You get a big push down, you get a big pop up, and then you go sideways. Which way is it going to pop? Don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make it up. I don't know what it's going to do in terms of which way it's going to pop. I do know, as I've told you before, is that it's probably going to break to the upside before it's over. But will it pull down first and then go? Anybody's guess. It depends on what's said, right? It depends on how the market reacts to it. So we got to take what's said, we got to watch the market reaction, and then we've got to make our decisions and put our trading plan in place based on what takes place. Eventually, it wants to go higher, so there's no reason to panic if it doesn't immediately. And if it does go higher immediately, then you find other places to put other positions on. Since there's really nothing to talk about here, I thought I'd do something different tonight because usually I don't have this kind of time. And so what I thought I would do is I thought I'd go to things that were moving. And so I'm going to go and peek inside like the IBB because we've got some movement there. I haven't even looked at these, so we'll look at them together, just see if there's anything there worth looking at. I'm just going to start with the index itself, and then we'll take a look at the those that are weighted inside of it. So it's trying to get up here to the high. I think I told you probably it was Sunday, I believe, on the Sunday show, that this is probably a place to be looking. This thing has got a run going back up towards the top. If I didn't tell you, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get confused because I know I brought this up. I know I told members about it. I believe I also broadcast it here as well. 299, 299 and a quarter. That's the number it's going after. Will it get there tomorrow? Will it break over it? I think that's the big question, because if it does, right, it's going to set up an ABCD structure to the upside to get it much higher. This is not a bad place to be looking. What's moving this inside is things like Gillhead. Gillhead got a nice big push to the top side today, a little volume expansion. It's inside the big bar going after a swing point high. It's a fairly heavy weighting, so that's part of what's moving this. Mylan is another one in their group. Doesn't look too juicy, certainly not like the other one. What else do we got here? Celgene's a big weighting. Let's see what that one looks like. And Celgene, nothing really cooking there. Let's look at BIB, BIIB, which is Biogen. Now this one had a nice big spike up. You got consolidation, tested the lower end of the boundary, held it. This is a nice setup. You want to be along that one if you're going to be long a name. Amgen, let's see what that one looks like. Same thing, got a nice big push, got consolidation. Let's see it on a weekly. So it came back, did a bullish retest regen, it looks like. 165.23. Didn't quite get to it, so it's still holding the breakout more than 6 bars. If this one pushes back, that would be a nice pickup. And let's take another heavy weighting here. Alexion, and not a lot happening there. That looks kind of like the IBB, so I don't see a big thing there. So, there's a couple names in there that look like they're worth focusing on. Let's Amgen and BIIB, Biogen. Let's pop over and look at technology, because technology has had a big impact, in particular Apple. So let's start with that group, see what that looks like. So here's the XLY, and just hanging there looks like the market. Let's take the heavy weightings in this group. I pulled up Amazon first. Amazon's stuck on that breakdown bar. Gets over it, you can make new highs. I'm looking for the heaviest weightings in here. It looks like FOXA is a heavy weighting. That one looks like death warmed over, right? Don't like that one. It's going to go down, test the lows. How about Home Depot? That's a pretty heavy weighting. And Home Depot, so this is just like the Biogen we looked at. You come down, you test the lows, right, in the region here. That looks like a buy setup overall. Now this is a little different because this one actually has the breakdown bar, and yeah, that one doesn't look as good when you look on the weekly. Oh, I was on Biogen. No wonder I'm confused. Okay, so this one trades down to the lows, just hanging there. Nothing happening there either. It's kind of funny. I say it looks like Biogen. It was Biogen. No wonder it looked like it. Here we go. Apple. Okay, so Apple. Actually, Apple looks pretty good. You're coming into this big bar, right? That's where all the volume is. It holds today. Does an under-over. This is probably going to try and work higher tomorrow. I saw Adobe reported after the bell, good earnings. We'll see if they get back over this little breakdown area. If they do, they can go back up and try to test the highs. And I'm just kind of looking down through the list here. Autodesk, this is one I've looked at quite a bit. Tested the highs, failed twice, probably going to try and pull back, but a good looking stock. Amazon, we just looked at. Just going down the list here, Bib we looked at, Biogen. Here's Baidu. Let's see what Baidu looks like. So here you got a nice big bar down. You test under it, back over it. You go back up and you fell at the highs here, that high, right? It's going to try and pull back again. Let's look at the weekly. Same thing, test failures at these breakdown bars. Folks, the market tells you what it wants to do. You know, if it does something different, then you have to readjust your plan. But for the most part, you want to go with what it says. So if I'm in Baidu and I've rode this thing up, today I want to be taking some profits. That's just the way it works. I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great one. Tomorrow we'll find out what these central bankers want to feed us next and then decide what to do about it. I'll check in with you tomorrow evening. Have a great one. Good night.